Hello, 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 beautiful people of the internet. My name is Whelsko. Halo Infinite has officially launched today. It's the official launch date today, the 8th of December 2021. And we're going to talk about the absolute horrendous customization and monetization in this game, because I have a feeling they screwed up immensely, and obviously not a lot of people were quite happy with it. So first things first, out of the way, I played a bunch of the multiplayer, and I must say it was an incredibly smooth experience. There were a lot of things that went good. To be fair, I didn't think I have a single issue other than for some reason having a bunch of AFKers and then they're not really replaced by bots, so it was like a 3v4, and it just was weird because they were like gone as soon as the game started, so I'm assuming they crashed. But personally speaking, I had no issues whatsoever. I had the usual issues like with desync. Sometimes I was feeling that I hit him, but it wasn't registering or whatever. Naturally, I have a bunch of issues with the game balance, but most of them is fixable. Most of them is easily taken care of with a few patches, and I probably won't be the only one who has a trouble with some of the weapons that they are a little bit treated unfairly. The biggest gripe that I personally have in terms of playing the game, it's only one, is the sound. And most of the sound is pretty good, but I had some moments where I literally could not hear an enemy sneaking up behind me and just shooting me full automatic, and I couldn't hear a single thing. And I had these puppies on, so I'm assuming these work. I'm assuming my settings were correct, and like I did not hear them whatsoever.
Shot caller.
Overshield inbound.
Be proud. Halfway.
Like, what the fuck is this? I don't feel like there were much issues from a technical and gameplay perspective. There is a solid foundation here that can be built upon for years to come. And originally, Halo Infinite has a 10-year plan, just like Anthem. But unfortunately, just like Anthem, that development hell was also noticeable inside of 343 Studios. Those are the rumors, and Jason Shreier, that guy, will probably put out an article by the time this video released about the terrible conditions. And of course, we had a global lockdown that forced the work them from home. So in the last 6 years, I'm assuming quite a bunch of things went wrong. So that 6-year development time, it's probably, in reality, it's probably like more like 4 years of actual development time, and the other 2 years are messing things up. But the gameplay is solid. So what is the problem, and why is everybody on Reddit ripping at each other's throats out? Well, simply put, it's the customization and the monetization. Those two are incredibly frustrating, because the approach here is to not reward players but punish them for having bad luck, I guess, or good luck. Don't know how you want to see it. So to all the developers out there, congratulations. I know you can't say anything publicly, and I know you can't criticize the game publicly. You did a fantastic job. It's amazing. To the guys in charge of the customization and the monetization, and well, when I talk about customization, I more mean the progression, because customization is like the skins, and the developers make those skins, but the ones in charge of like which one are we gonna sell, which one are we gonna include in the battle pass, those are the big cats, the big boys upstairs, and those are the ones. I don't know who is in charge there, but that guy needs to be fired. Like, no joke. It is such a horrible experience. Like, I have no words for it, basically, because nobody wants to pay Halo any more money, and nobody has anything to work for inside of the multiplayer. The only reason you should play is because you want to play, and there isn't a system that is trying to push you and trying to give you challenges that you can work towards, which you can progress towards, which the older Halo, the classic saga, the 1, 2, 3, had an insane amount of. One of the reasons that people played them so much is because they always had something to work against, some new cool outfit to work towards, some new, I don't know, cool emblem to show off. There was always a reason for it. And here there's no reason. Every single cosmetic item is locked behind a paywall. And that's extremely, extremely bad. That's what people at Reddit were like going absolutely bonkers over. Because they were like, this fucking sucks. This isn't Halo. This isn't what I want to play. And the funny thing is, Halo is quite an established franchise. That brand name has a lot of recognition, and I have a feeling that now with Halo Infinite, and of course 5 and the previous ones weren't that good, they are kind of ruining their good brand. That's not a good thing, because it's a staple of the industry. So naturally people are quite upset and are giving their opinions quite strongly. And I don't know why people are always doing this dumb shit of sending threats and stuff. Fuck that shit, man. Like, if you want to talk, if you want to show your disagreement with how they handle things, then you just not pay them any money and you just not play the game anymore. It's that simple. If everybody does that, believe me, they will hear you. Because people were acting so arrogantly, and this isn't most people, by the way. I don't want to throw everybody under the bus. No. Most of this is just a select few individuals that are ruining it for everybody else. And that caused the subreddit of Halo to go in lockdown. Which, after it came out in lockdown, oh man, the amount of comments, the amount of shitposting, oh, I absolutely loved it. I guess you could say, a guilty pleasure of seeing these little dramas unfold when it comes to business decisions in the game. And after the lockdown ended, so people would have calmed down. Naturally, they didn't calm down, and they were right back at it, voicing their opinions, which a lot of them I quite agreed, and a bunch of Reddit posts I use in this video as an example. But the amount of Reddit awards that were given out to people voicing their opinions I have never seen that many. And these awards cost money, by the way. In order to give a person an award, you have to pay money. So think about it. Halo, or the guys at Halo, spent a massive amount of money in promoting their game, because this is what I discovered today at day 3, not day 1 and 2, but they had deals with Amazon, they had deals with Chipotle, they had deals with Kellogg's, so that means Hot Pocket, Pringles, Rockstar Energy, like they even have like a Lakers exclusive bundle. So they have a bunch of deals with a bunch of companies to promote. And guess what? All of those deals almost, the only one is the Lakers game, I think. But all of those deals were for challenge swaps, basically. Challenge swaps and paint buckets. So, and then they naturally, those companies in turn go and pay the big boys, the streamers, not us small YouTubers. We don't see any of that money. So you have a guy like Nadeshot, for example, who is apparently a big Halo fan, and here he's accepting a bunch of money from Chipotle to give you 5 challenge swaps when you order next time around.
Video is sponsored by Chipotle. Now we got an incredible offer and opportunity for you guys. 117 at checkout, and you're getting 5 challenge swaps.
Customize your order at Chipotle and then customize your gaming experience on Halo.
Oh my God, Will, never.
So you get 5 challenge swaps for impossible to grind challenges. And then I'm like sitting there, when I saw that, I was like, dude, you just secured $60 million in funding, and you're apparently a big Halo fan. Like, I can't imagine that he's happy with how the progression is in this game. And the big issue with progression is, of course, that there isn't anything to work towards, because the Battle Pass is absolutely trash. the amount of items apparently has been skipped. Half of them have been replaced by challenge swaps. Now you have to, in order to progress in the Battle Pass, do random challenges, that half of them, which I wouldn't say impossible, but they're very annoying. The one example that really sticks out in my mind was play 3 capture the flag games. That one was the one that stuck out in my mind, and you have to play in a playlist with 5 game modes or 4, whatever. So that means in 1 in 5 chance that I have to get 1 match. And then I have to do that 3 times. So if I'm lucky, I get it 3 in a row. If I'm unlucky, I can play 3 days without ever seeing such a match. Which in turn means that... Oops, my bad. Which in turn means that for... Which in turn means that I have to play X amount of games just to complete 1 challenge. So then I would get another challenge that I can then do. And of course, it's a terrible system. So a bunch of chores you have to do, and then you get new chores, and then after a while, when you completed all those chores, all those little challenges, you get the ultimate challenge of the week. And that means after doing 20 of those dumb challenges that are designed to keep you down, to keep you progressing slowly, you get an ultimate challenge. And I think the one from previous week was win 17 matches. You have 1 week to complete 20 challenges that are absolute dumb, like the control one, like the capture the flag one I mentioned. Then you have to do, once you get all of those out, you get an ultimate challenge, and out of that you have to win 17 matches. For an average working person that likes to spend money, that has no time to play a lot of games, but has a disposable income to pay for your game because they're so amazing with it, because they love Halo, because they were a Halo fan when they were young, and when they were 5 years old, they got an Xbox with Halo Combat Evolved, and that's why now they want to relive their childhood and their memories, and those guys want to spend money in your game, and you have to they finally have found the time after sleeping for 4 hours a night to do all their challenges for a shitty battle pass with very much filler content, and then which they bought. They get an ultimate challenge, and for what? Win 17 matches. And if you're lucky, by the way, and if you're an average player, that's 50-50. I don't know how the matchmaking works in this game. I don't know if it's elo based. If it's elo based, you can safely assume that's 50%. So that means that a working man, after completing 20 challenges, has to play 34 more games of Halo. And some of these games last 10 minutes. Do you see where the math is going? In my opinion, that's quite a lot. But who am I to show, of course? People with disposable ink. Like, I would have bought the Battle Pass if it was a good Battle Pass. I would have bought it instantly. But you know what? I'm very glad that I didn't, because the challenges are completely annoying. Nobody likes them. They are designed to make you buy challenge swaps, and that's the big issue. These challenge swaps are a solution to a problem that they created. And the problem that they created was literally design a terrible progression system instead of copying an old, perfectly good system that keeps players hooked. No, they made a system that is designed to frustrate players, so that the idea is that out of frustration, they will spend the money, which they obviously are not going to do. They're just going to be like, oh, I'll play without cosmetics. I always agree. Companies like this need to make money, and a whole bunch of it. A game that I absolutely love, I want to see thrive. I want to see to have massive profits, but I don't want to see it like when EA pushes kids to be addicted to their FIFA slot machines, and I don't want to see it where 343 Industries can't manage to get a good progression system to make people happy. Because apparently the developer in question says that it's a free-to-play model. And the community director, Sketch, who, by the way, I don't have anything against, but his arguments absolutely suck. Some of the worst arguments that you will ever read. I'm pretty sure he's in a very terrible position right now because his bosses, he can't throw his bosses under the bus, but he still has to come up with excuses. That's not gonna go well. And he's claiming it's a free-to-play model, and that's why they designed the challenge swaps. No, excuse me. I will pull the direct. As far as the notion of this all being a ploy to force challenge swaps, it just isn't. And I'm sorry to say it, but that's absolutely bullshit. Because this system was clearly seen as the great cash cow, the great money maker, and has been pushed to all over the place to give out challenge swaps. Like, dude, are you joking me? The funny thing is, like, they seem to be wanting to copy Fortnite. Fortnite, over there. How hard is it to do a right progression system? And Fortnite's progression system was a little bit annoying if you were a sweaty PvPer and you didn't want to go and find out some collectibles. But we can all agree that it at least was fair. And it wasn't that much work. It definitely is a ploy to get you to spend money. The system is designed to hook you in because it's a new Halo. And then the system will frustrate you because you want to progress in the new Halo, because Halo is so damn cool, but you can't really, so then, oh, here you can buy the solution. And it's a free-to-play model according to the developers, and they have to pay to keep the servers up. Not to mention that Microsoft Azure, for example, is probably the server that they use, and Daddy Microsoft, of course, doesn't have enough money to support them financially in case something goes wrong. Because 343 Industries is a small indie studio with a small team instead of a big company of 750 people. And I just want to emphasize that despite the multiplayer being in beta, whatever that means because it's a month from release, monetization isn't in beta. It's a fully implemented system, fully thought out, and fully marketed. So everything else might have been in beta. And then, of course, they come out with a campaign that costs 60 euros. And guess what? I'll be honest, the campaign looks very underwhelming, if I can be honest. And maybe that has to do with the development hell we were talking about earlier. But to me, if it wasn't with the Halo name attached, it would be a cheap Doom clone or a cheaper Doom clone in a more open world setting. Because apparently you couldn't replay your missions when Halo, the new campaign released. Because you can't replay a mission for your collectibles. And that doesn't mean that a Doom clone can be fun. But I mean, that's just what I thought when I saw it. And I haven't played it, so maybe if I play it 3 times over, I will have a more measured opinion. The big question you're probably asking, why is this video so long? Well, the reason is because there was a whole bunch of things that I witnessed and that I saw. So in the beginning, I was going to make a commentary video about why the progression and the customization sucks. And then stuff kept happening and stuff kept happening and stuff kept happening. And I'm not the type of person that wants to talk about one topic. So I decided, why not put it all together? And then stuff kept on happening and happening and happening. And so I will make sure that here right below you will have all the timestamps to stuff you need. Because I'll be honest, most of you are not going to watch this all the way through. And that's perfectly fine. But at least the reasons that I'm making up here, then at least you know why I'm doing it and why I'm saying it. And if you want to know what my vision of the Halo franchise would look like, or if I was the one in charge, we rewind 3 months back when Halo was still in development, and I was the one in charge of launching the game and implementing customization, progression, and monetization. That's a handful of words. Then you can just check it out and what my vision of Halo would be without having played any of the previous Halos, by the way. Then, of course, we have to talk about that free event, which seemed very free. And they made like this blog post with a very cool photo, and you're like, you could earn armor codes, armor cores, and you will look cool like in the photos. Well, apparently you can only unlock the armor core, and to unlock the coloring, you will have to pay it and get it in the store. And that free event is such a slap in the face, and it shows exactly why this game has such a limited limited progression. Look at the event and you see everything that's wrong with it, because you have to play one game mode, you have to get random challenges, and sometimes you don't even get the challenges for that game mode, so you have to wait a little bit and complete some others, and then have to come back to the game mode. You can only do it 1 week, then you have to wait, what is it, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. You have to wait 1 month, so you can then do another one of these random challenges, which of course you have to get the good challenges for the game mode, so you can progress that battle pass, which in turn results in you getting, what was it? I guess you get 10 levels for every week. And then you have to wait another month, and then you have to do that for a third time. So you have like this free little battle pass that is split up over a year. And I'm like, oh, not a year, but a very long time. And I'm like, who the hell designed this? Like, people are gonna forget that that even existed, man. Like, maybe the diehard Halo fans. You should have made that stuff as challenges that people who progress and play the game a lot could have earned naturally by themselves. And not have this item store where they might get a chance to buy the coding for the armor core that they wanted. Like, who came up with that idea of a free battle pass split up over months with challenges that you can't even complete because you have to complete other challenges for the other battle pass, and if you don't want to complete the other challenges of the other battle pass, you can get challenge swaps so you can swap them out. It's like, who designs this? Who pays? Who made this? Seriously, like, this game is such a free cash cow. Why rush it? Why be greedy? Why sell all your integrity as a company and lose all the goodwill of your players in less than a month of release, after release, or surprise release? Like, why would you do that if that's the 10-year plan? Already you have a shitty progression system, not knowing how the public will react, and just giving all the other big brands your money to promote your garbage. As Sketch put it, we have to pay for the servers, and we can't really improve because we have UI limitations. Oh man. Also, I will say this, if you need any source or whatever, I'll try to put all the research that I found in the description below. And this video is kind of a Frankenstein monster. I kind of kept putting things on and on and on and on and on. My apologies for that. Timestamps below, and of course sorry for the long one, but officially we can say that the video ends right here. If you want the short version, if you want me being crazy and doing the research and talking about all kinds of different things, you can find out right here exactly below. So if you stick around, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if not, I want to say thanks for watching, and I will see you hopefully in the next one. Bye-bye! You already heard a lot of people complain, and probably will have noticed it for yourself if you played Halo Infinite, that the progression is so incredibly slow. And truth be told, not really that rewarding. So let's take a look at exactly why that is. The most obvious answer is probably it takes a long time. But that isn't really a satisfying answer, and to really understand what is going on, we also have to take the history of Halo into account, and that's probably the biggest issue, because the most of the good days, the most of the good Halos were from back in an era where you paid $60 for a full video game and you got a full video game with hundreds of different items to unlock. And in this case, you have a battle pass, a free battle pass, and an item store. The store is very simple, you pay for it to unlock something. So the way that 343 Industries has set this baby up is, simple put, you have 3 challenges that rotate. These are random challenges where you have to do something random in a random game mode that is usually, I wouldn't say too difficult, but it can be very difficult / out of the way. At the end of the game, you will get a new one. And one of the more frustrating things that I found is that you don't even see what the next challenge is after you completed the previous one. No, you have to go out of your way to look it up. It makes it very hard to track how to complete those challenges. And some of these challenges are straightforward, such as get 5 kills with a commando rifle, get 5 kills with a pistol. One of the more egregious that I found was it had some weird description which basically translated to kill somebody with the burst rifle without missing a single shot. If I have to Google one of the 3 challenges that I'm able to unlock, it's a very bad sign, by the way. One of the challenges, for example, was win or play 3 capture the flag matches, PvP. Very broken English, that simply means that you have to play the capture the flag mode 3 times. It's not that easy. Now, the problem with that is that Halo locked in very specific playlists with different modes in it. So it's not like I can select capture the flag and just play that. No. You have to play the small map based game modes, which are 5 or 4, I don't know exact number, and then they rotate, which in turn would allow you to get the 1 capture the flag match every X amount of games. In theory, 1 in every 4 games is a capture the flag match. If you bought the premium battle pass, you can have those 3 challenges into 4 challenges, so you can complete 4 challenges at once. Then a random challenge like that isn't as annoying, let's say. Then they came with their lovely free event, which gave you a new battle pass, which in turn gave new challenges for that event, which luckily in this case was only 1 playlist, or like 1 game mode. Completing 1 mission resulted in being able to get 1 level of the free 30 tier pass, which is very fair. But now we have 2 battle passes basically that are competing for a 3 challenge slot that gives out the random challenges. And the way I like to view it, it's like you're just playing your game and like your mother all of a sudden gives you a random chore that you have to do now if you want to get your allowance. Which is pretty dumb metaphor, but in the end, that's what this boils down to. All of a sudden, you're playing the game, you complete a challenge that is fairly simple, fairly straightforward, such as kill 5 people or get 5 kills with the commando rifle, and then all of a sudden, you have to play 3 matches, which is an insane more. Or there was another challenge where you had to grapple onto a vehicle so you can kick somebody out. Now that's a very specific thing to do, which means you have to play the big game modes more to get the most chance, and you have to find a grapple hook. Challenges can entice the player to get new playstyles and to give them new things. This is why they're made. This is like why you want them to do. They have a certain playstyle, you give them another playstyle, and you reward them with something. This is very basic psychology. Do something, get something. In this case, however, what you encourage is basically that people camp the grapple hook. They only have 1 challenge, so they are so focused on doing that 1 challenge. Other teammates are suffering possibly from it. I noticed this for myself, where I would go into ranked games and I have to do X amount of kills with the commando rifle, pick up the commando rifle and just play around that, instead of actually trying to grind in a ranked queue. And the footage I'm showing here is from those ranked queues. But do you want your competitive scene to be focused on people trying to grind out some stupid challenge out of their challenge slot? On top of that, you only had like 20 challenges, and in order to progress the normal battle pass, you had to complete like, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 challenges maybe to get 1 level, 20 challenges a week. Now eventually they added these play any match challenge that you got an XP boost for the 6 first games of the day, and somebody did the math that I saw on Reddit, and apparently it's only better system if you play 10 games out of it, which mind-boggling. In order to answer the question really, why is it so damn slow? Well, first of all, you have a limited amount of challenges that you can do. Most of the challenges don't necessarily encourage a playstyle that is desired, and it gives you more busy work instead of actually achieving something. If you bought the Battle Pass, you have 4 slots, so it's gonna be a little bit easier. Fact remained that in other Halo games. I don't know exactly how it was because I never actually played them. But simple put was that based on the performance you did, you got rewarded with credits, and those credits you could save up and then buy some cosmetics. They were simply credits you earned for doing good in the game. Because you can put on the best performance of a lifetime in one Halo game, you're not gonna get more or less XP. You're only gonna get it if you play 3 matches of Capture the Flag, which is very bad to give the player a sense of progression. Progression means the moving forward, improving, becoming a better player, or having more as a player. Modern Warfare 2 is an example of a game that had a very good progression system, and one of the reasons why probably most of us played it so damn much. There was so much to unlock, and every time you leveled up you got new weapons who gave you new challenges, and those new challenges, if you completed them for each weapon, gave you camos. And on top of that there was like general progression, so you can like unlock all kinds of different emblems, calling card to make your profile a little bit better. While the theoretical customization in Halo Infinite is literally infinite, there's probably more combinations than ever. To unlock them through these shitty ass battle passes, you're gonna take a whole long time. What would be the alternative? Well, play 100 Capture the Flag matches in total, that every time you play Capture the Flag match, the counter keeps ticking. Kill 100, get 100 kills with the battle rifle. Simple things that people can keep grinding over and over and over again. So extreme examples that I come up with just from the top of my head. They don't have anything to work towards. They just do random chores. And then the insult to injury is of course the challenge swap. If you pay us $1, we will give you another challenge to complete. So, and I did those. I had a few free ones from the Battlepass. And I did one of those Capture the Flag. Capture the Flag mission by itself was like 12 minutes. Like, give me another one that I can do in one match. Then I get like the grapple hook that I mentioned earlier. So it was like, okay, not want to do that. So I use my last challenge token, and I literally got exact the same Capture the Flag 3 times, which in turn I was playing or grinding out on the ranked ladder by then. So every single ranked match is a 1 in 4 that it's Capture the Flag, and I have to play 3 of those. How am I in control over here on being able to achieve the challenge? These challenges aren't something you can challenge yourself, isn't something necessarily in your control, but these are more random factors. A random slot machine will decide if you achieve the challenge or not. And if you don't like it, you can always pay $1 or €1 or whatever to swap a challenge to a shittier one. The ultimate insult for this, of course, then comes in the form of the free Battle Pass event, the Fractured Tenai. You start out with 3 challenges. 2 of them are for normal game modes, and 1 of them is for the limited time game mode. You complete the limited time game mode and you probably might be, oh, I want to play another one. But you have 3 challenges that have to be completed in normal games. So you grind normal games out, and then until you basically have 3 challenges for the limited time game mode. Then you can do those 3, and then you probably have to switch back, and then all of a sudden your 20 challenges are completed. See you next week. Bye bye. Now, this was a limited time event. There were unfortunately 30 tiers on that limited time event. So even if you by any miracle had 20 challenges in your weekly challenges to complete for that limited time event, you wouldn't be able to complete it. Which cat in the suit up top, which manager, which business major from Harvard thought it would be a fantastic fucking idea to put a free battle pass in, which you can only grind like once every 3 months? You can grind it out for a week. Which idiot thought that would be a good idea? Like the armor core with the Shogun mask on looks hella good. Like, I really wanted to have that. But do you honestly think that I care enough in my lifetime to have that, so that in like 9 months I'm coming back to this game to grind out another week of Fractured Tenai so I could get that fucking skin? Who do you honestly think that will make time for that, other than like your most diehard players who play Halo every single week of every single year of every single yada yada yada. Like, people that are gonna care are the ones who are already playing the game non-stop anyway. They want to play 20 hours a day and 4 hours of sleep. Let them grind it out. Let them get it in 1 week. But even if they don't get it in 1 week, give them like a month to get the limited time event. Make the limited time event or the limited time battle pass actually worth coming back to, because it's one of those things you pick it up and you're gonna forget it. Even if you want to split it up so that people have to do it in 2 times, you know, that's even fine, but do it in 2 times. Don't do it in like every 3 months. Progression is the heart and soul of player engagement in a video game. If you mess it up, they will leave in flux. Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is your boy Whelsko, and we're gonna take a look at the item store. The Heroes of the Reach. So apparently, I'm assuming that the Heroes of the Reach Battle Pass has to do with the Halo Reach game. So we got a simple Battle Pass. We got another 1,000 over here. We got 2,800, like exact same Fortnite pricing, nothing special here. Very, very standard stuff, literally copy paste. Now of course, we just mentioned about how the shit progression in challenges compared to Fortnite, which has an insane amount of good challenges and doable challenges, and you could do like 8 of them at once instead of, you know, 4 here. And they would, you know, give you the ones of the previous week were still possible. So if you only played at the end of the season, you could get to 80 challenges in 1 day, while here you can only do 20 once a week. You're limited to 20, like your growth is literally limited. Never understood that. We got simple Fortnite stuff going on here. This is like 2K, so this is 20 euros, of course. Then we have the dailies, which always, the way that it's done here, it's like if I put in 10 euros now, I'm gonna have 5 euros spent on this, and I still have 5 euros left. So these are basically leftover skins. Like personally, I would never buy them, but it is what it is. And then we have the daily of 10 euros. And as long as that's 10 euros or at like exactly the same as the amount of credits, which is just like in Fortnite, exactly the same, you know, 500, basically 1 euro equals 100 of these bucks. This is literally copied from Fortnite. No, it's less. I think with Fortnite you get more than this. I have no clue. I have to look it up exactly how it is, but simply put, if it is, it's not gonna be more. Guys, I've looked it up and this is exactly what I found. The top picture in question is with a little bit of inflation. Normally it should be like 10 euros, 25, 40 I think, and then 100. But other than that, the bottom one is the one that it's priced at actually now, whereby they did like a 20% mega discount forever, so that's why it's a little bit lower. Simple, the top one is the highest it's ever been, and the bottom one is the price that it's at now. Without this 50 euros, you get 6 euros for free. Like, what is this? Give him 10 euros free, man. Like, Jesus. The amount of greed in this game, like, it's starting. In the beginning I wasn't paying attention to it because, you know, new game, new fun, yada yada yada, but now it's starting to really seep through. This is a funny one. As soon as Halo went live, this was already there. So what does that mean? I'm assuming the teams in question were allowed to see this. So FaZe Clan, you know, they were contacted with skins. So all the problems you have with the game, all the issues that I read on Reddit, which basically made the subreddit be blocked in lockdown, all of those issues, you know, all the time the developers had to work on the game, this was ready. This was ready with, like, to be launched. You know. And like, also, what the hell is this? No way. What is this? Wow, a weapon skin. And a high 9 euros for that. Jesus. So, but basically, this one, like, if you have any issues of the game, like, because like there's a lot of issues with the game. it's you know, it's not really feature rich. You know, it's a good demo. Like this feels like a demo basically. But like this was complete as soon as the game launched. Just so you know. So enough about the store. I mean, I've talked quite a bunch about this, so enough about this. Okay, next up, we gotta talk about the Battle Pass. So I didn't do the limited time event, but basically works the same. And of course, it was limited at 30. And the limited time event, the Fracture 10i, basically couldn't do the challenges. These are the challenges that I talked about earlier. And of course, if you have the Battle Pass, you can get one more. So that's 4 random challenges. But I don't know if your max increase. So like, if you still have 20 challenges in total, like basically you do these. You're allowed to unlock these faster, I guess, but you're still locked to the weekly limit. We're gonna go over this one quickly. Of some of them I've done like an hour breakdown and stuff, and it's not really needed that much. So the most important thing to note is, you know, the challenge swap. I just spent 10 minutes explaining why this is a very annoying, stupid thing. And let me tell you this, like, whatever the developers say about this thing is fully intentional. This is no, like, there is no accident. Like, you know, they worked 6 years on a progression system, or 6 years the chance of a progression system. Like, this is not, like, this is meant to be. They wanted this to be inside of the game, okay? They, you know, like, oh yeah, we really suck about progression, yada, yada, yada. Like, we really feel bad, you know, these are top on our priority. Like, they're basically putting out fires now, because this is the fire. You know? Okay, enough of that. Simple things to add on your chest. Have eyes, but isn't this the same I literally just clicked on an emblem for? Probably not. XP boost. God knows why you would need that. Very annoying. Oh yeah, rare shoulder pad. One of the lovely features about Halo Infinite. That's something I will address. Yoink. No, actually that was a little bit bad. Yoink. Yeah, the Mark 5. This is the armor core that this is linked to. So this shoulder pad, you know, they were very proud when the game launched. But like, oh, we're gonna have an infinite amount of possibilities. Yeah, well, theoretically that would be the case. But like, this thing is only available for this armor core. So if you have 10 armor cores, you have to basically unlock this shitty ass shoulder pad 10 times. Same with the visor. You know, like, let's see. I have the... Let's see which ones I have. I have this one, the core. I go back. This is the Mark 7. This is the visor that we just been. This is the Mark 5. I do not have that. Unlocked VR heroes, what do you call it? You know, and all these colors, like... This is what... They were so proud of the amount of customization you could do, but like... What the like, this is basically everything. Like... Literally hundreds of different color palettes. It's not really something to write home about. So, and that's basically the whole thing. Again, quarter A. This is this is something else. These are like armor sets. And like, if you're gonna be claiming that you have the most amount of customization in any game possible, which is theoretically definitely true, but like, apparently armor kits are not customizable. So in other words, I cannot remove this thing, I cannot remove this thing, I cannot remove the shoulder pad, and I cannot remove that thing. Which is, if you ask me, a very strange decision. For me, this would be like a template. You would put it on, and then you have basically, you know, it would equip all of these, and then you can like switch out individual items for, you know, something else. I don't know what that, but you know, I mean, it's very terrible if you ask me. Legendary helmet attachment. I have no clue what I'm looking at. Oh wow. We're literally looking at this thing. Yeah, I probably should not have used proof that. We're literally looking at this thing. Damn, son. That's very underwhelming reward. Like most of these, to be fair, very underwhelming reward. I'm gonna skip through because backdrop. Oh, it's literally for you behind your collar. Like, most of these are very... Like, Fortnite obviously has the advantage, and they're most likely stealing from this with all the customization options. Fortnite has the advantage of being goofy. Like, basically, Halo has a disadvantage. Like, they can't do much. Like the suits are like the basis of the game. Everybody looks like these. Another armor kit. Again, fellas, we can't customize this. Remember? By the time you're watching this, maybe you can then. But now at least, not worth it. Yes, this one is kind of cool. Little Bane mask. Backdrop. Shoulder pads. Again, look at this one. Like, okay, I'll give you. You know, I'll give you this. Like, I am not a developer, but like, is it that hard to take this thing, tweak it a little bit so you can put it on other armor cores? Like it can be that difficult. Like, you don't, like, you change nothing, you just put it on something else. Like, can't, like, it literally can't. This one is cool. Legendary kill effect. I do not know if this is when you kill somebody or when you get killed. Very cool thing. Like, these are the type of rewards that make a battle pass worth it, you know. All these things are just filler. Now, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. We've been hammering on why it is so slow, and it is incredibly slow. But there is no time limit on the battle pass, so that makes it more justified. But still, I mean, it's weird, man. Like, that it takes so long. You know, again, jack plate. You know, it's like very little to see here. For the Mark 7 thingy. The Mark 5, not the samurai code. You know, like, these are very little. Like, the legendary. The only one that basically is worth it in the battle pass is the. I guess this is cool. Is this weapon even in the game? I have a feeling this weapon is not even in the game. Or is it the one on top of the vehicle thingy? Jeep. Yeah, like, this is cool. This is cool. You know? It's a little bit badass. Nobody, you know, some people like in Fortnite, for example, some people probably have like, you know, battle pass complete at 100. Not in this one. Here, very cool helmet. Wait a second, did I see this one in another game, like another Halo game? Like, I don't know anything about the previous Halos, basically. I mean, other than the basic stuff. I mean, I have a feeling I've seen this helmet before. Probably Halo Reach, because it's called Heroes of the Reach. So, in other words, in the Reach, you probably had to work hard, and, you know, it was like this. You would wear that if you know, proven yourself worthy. If you killed, I don't know, 1,000 dudes with a sniper rifle or something. You know, something that shows, hey, that guy killed 1,000 people with a sniper rifle. It was an unlock that you could buy with in-game credits that you earned rather than paid for if you unlocked everything for the EVA armor core. In this case, however, nope, just a battle pass unlock with random challenges. Again, same thing, armor kit. And like, because like I didn't know the exact thing either, because I know like this one. Back in the day, you had to fix it on by being a pro or doing like some weird stuff in campaign where you had to go with 4 people and you had to complete the campaign level without shooting a single shot. That is a challenge. That's an actual challenge that people can work towards. Like, you know, like these are doable, but like they are definitely not so doable with. And of course, we're gonna wrap this one up real quick because. By the way, if you want to know I might have referenced it already in the video. Like, if you want to, I watched the Rocket Slots video on the customization in Halo over the years history as a researcher of this, which was very entertaining to watch and definitely gave you an overview. So if you need more context for why these things probably would be normal unlocks in the past, definitely go check it out. I'll give him this. It looks extremely cool. From a competitive advantage, you stick out like a sore thumb. So Looks very cool though. 166 rewards, and I only saw like 5 things that actually seem somewhat decent that I actually would want to go work towards. So that's basically 160 of these is filler content. That's a lot, man. That's a whole lot. Before the lockdown went into effect, we of course have a wonderful longer message from the community director from the official 343 company. And suffice to say, it was like, it's absolute zoinkers. It's not good. So the reason for this is that basically it was a what we call non-apology. A community director is of course responsible for keeping the community in check and of course being the bridge between the developers and the players, the player base. That is a very hard job, and especially in gaming everybody has an opinion because you live in these virtual worlds almost, you know, you play them sometimes the way like some Rust wipes that I did recently, you know, that were like, I was living in it. I don't know what's happening. Either he's lying or something is up inside the company that he can't speak about, because reading this didn't give me a lot of confidence and in fact gave me more questions than I got answers. So naturally I'm not going over the entirety of the statement. If I have to go over each Reddit post, I mean, we're gonna be sitting here for like months. Now, we're already gonna sit here for a long ass time. Generally speaking, if you have to convince people you're not a liar, then you're not really in a good position. It's my job to come here. And this is also like, this is a good thing of him. Like, it's indeed his job. It's his job to keep the people safe. So all of this is simply to say, I don't lie, this is my job. I'm just trying to do my best. As for Shreier itself, we're still having discussions around feasibility. This is absolutely a hot topic and something that the team is aware of. So basically, this is about, how do I, the fuck? Hell, dude. As for Shreier itself, we're still having discussions about feasibility. Yes, this is absolutely a hot topic. Okay, this is the first thing that became as a red flag. This is basically, simply put, we don't know if it's possible to implement a team deathmatch playlist. It's such an innovative game mode that there is no possibility. And like, because this, think about it, like doing the capture the flag and the other ones and stuff, like you have to actually do something with them. You know, you have to make the flag, you have to make the all the assets for it, I guess. You know, sound effects, yada yada. Like, think about this for a second. Like, we're having discussions around the feasibility of a team deathmatch mode, which is already in the game, by the way. Well, topic team, we will love blah, blah. Do they owe? Yeah, this one is the next one. The pandemic, the lockdown is still going, so it makes sense in development times. Basically, it's been in development for 6 years, but we can pretty sure safely say, you know, we give them the benefit of the doubt. They only had 4 years to come up with this concoction. That's where I'm gonna add it. It's not always easy, but like, do they owe us a dissertation on what they've been doing for the last 6 years? No, for all I care, they can throw office parties, they can throw, I don't know, they can go to the Bahamas and sit at a pool all day. Like, I do not care at all. Like, I do not care about the fate of Halo. I'll put it plain and simply. Halo is a staple of gaming. It literally has done so many good things, and it revolutionized probably the shooter genre in the online shooter, the multiplayer shooter. You had, for example, GoldenEye on LAN. That was the first shooter that everybody found popular. But that wasn't really online. So Halo did that, and that's something to be proud of. So again, and like the core gameplay of Halo is incredibly good. That the game itself isn't a problem, other than a few tweaks such as balance and map, for example. I know, like in older Halos, the maps would have like two, what do you call it? in the older Halos, basically the maps are symmetrical, or the weapon spawns at least are symmetrical. So if one gun spawns at the spawn of blue and the other one at the spawn of red, they were always the same. Now they are different guns sometimes, but generally speaking, like those are very easy to tweak out to my understanding. Making 10 new maps is not. Okay, this is the next one that I want to talk about. We have UI limitations with the game right now in the number of playlists that are exposed. What? UI limitation, like what is that? What does this look like? Like UI limitations is the easiest of the bunch to fix, I would assume. Yes, okay, it's annoying because it's like a puzzle, but I mean, maybe I should go into Photoshop right now and check for the UI design. We do that. But like, and what is this? Like, there's like the UI literally changed. I saw that because the event, the free event, was gone. So, think about it. Their plan was to make this Halo last for 10 years. 10 years. It's basically still in beta. Half of the promised features aren't even out yet. Campaign is about to launch, so it's not even... I mean, it's ready probably, but it's not out in the public. And there's already UI limitations. Like... This is the definition of a human having an excuse. Because, let's not forget, there are 750 people working for 343 Industries. Hey, that's pretty fun. It's almost double. Like, so this, and you're gonna tell me that UI limitations is the problem. Like, if you were like, oh, yeah, the whole game engine is broken, we have to redesign it. That's a completely different story. And I know there's some issues, but like, there's a difference between a functional UI and a good-looking UI. We have a complex and not ideal program. This is the nitty and gritty. This is the most important thing. Ooh, wow. Okay, so in other words, they're gonna focus on that. Alright, next developer thingy. Wait, what? This is page 3? Man, I wish I had just had the fucking comment, dude. Okay, so apparently, according to this guy, or this post that I found, it is the 3rd image out of 8, so let's go. The team's plan for displaying anything more diversifies and interest. Because like this is what first we're talking about the Slayer thingy, then we're talking about UI limitations and challenge progression, and now we're talking about the Slayer plan again. Like, what is this? What is this focus? Like, I thought I had a jumbled, messy focus. Like, again, we are re-evaluating what it would take to potentially just start with a vanilla Slayer playlist. This I completely understand. Because it is a problem if you have, the more queues you have, the harder it is to maintain all of them in good health. So that I can perfectly understand. But like, Halo had like 200,000 in what you call it, on Steam playing. So like, it sounds very weird that they just can't do it for now, you know? Like, if the game is losing its player base, then yeah, sure. So again, like, basically we're on part 3 of 8, and all of this is basically to say we don't want to do Slayer. Like, the feasibility of Slayer is a top priority. Like, what? It's not quite as trivial as pushing a button. Agreed. And at the scale and complexity of the game, every change could have monumental. That is correct. That's why you should have seen the Battlepass coming from a mile away. Next up. No, okay, that's the same thing. This is like, most people are, not most gamers, but a lot of gamers are like, yeah, you know, just fix it. And I'll happily admit, you know, like, I will love to give them time. They're like, okay, fellas, the holidays, we've heard your concerns. As soon as the first week of the new year, we're gonna have a Slayer only playlist. I don't know, by the way, why people want Slayer only playlist. Like, all the most fun game modes or objectives, always. Like, team deathmatches is for pussies. But that's my personal. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. how could we solve this immense problem that nobody has ever thought about before? Oh, we make... Oh, I know. Oh, I know. We make a public beta or a public testing server where people can sign up and go out and try to test stuff. You know, then you don't have to roll it out all at once. You know, and again, I'm not talking about a completely new game design. Like, I'm not talking about a completely new set of, like, Halo dudes or whatever. Like, we're talking about a Shreier playlist only. A game mode that is in the game, by the way. And if it's, you know, you be doing tests and the queues are very unhealthy for the objective game modes, for example, then we can always switch back. It's not a problem. That's not an issue. It's literally changing the playlist. Like, I would assume that it theoretically it takes like one guy 5 minutes in a data spreadsheet to remove the Shreier from the objective playlist and then move it, you know, to somewhere else. Now, of course, again, I will happily agree with him. It's not as quite as trivial as doing what I just described. But then again, it's not as hard as he's describing it. So, meet us in the middle, let's put it that way. Making players have no controls and have to use swaps has never once been a thing. Well, I mean, you don't have to use them, I suppose. But they definitely feel kind of shitty. Not ideal is a very easy way to say it. Yes, I mean, I'm glad he realized that. RNG challenges is literally the biggest issue of the challenge system. Or at least, there's nothing wrong with RNG challenges, but there is something wrong if you have to do 100 RNG challenges, but you can only do one at a time. That's the biggest issue with it. Okay, part 5 is basically the same thing a little bit. Exactly, this is exactly the point I've been making earlier in the video, by the way. Exactly. At least he knows his game balance is off George. See, but that's the thing, like, they know... This makes me hopeful that he at least knows what the hell is going on. And, like... Why, you know, if you know this is going on, like, are we just gonna try it and, you know, tank it, basically? Because you know people are gonna react to this. Okay, next up. Not everybody likes that Infinite is a free-to-play business model. I will say it like that. It is not, because the campaign is pay-to-play. So is Infinite entirely a business, free-to-play? No, it's not. The multiplayer, that Infinite multiplayer is a free-to-play game, is a different. This has a new business model based on monetization of customization. Like, can we not forget, by the way, that tomorrow, well, whenever you will be watching this, there will have been a $60 expansion pack for the free-to-play Infinite multiplayer released, which is a campaign. That will have happened. By the time you watch this video, that will have happened. So the business model isn't it's partially free-to-play, but like the quick business model is basically, while we're here, why not do it? So basically, we have how do we make money off a game? That's the idea of a business model. Okay, so we have two things that the player base can split from. So that is, we have the single player, which is basically a pre-cooked, a cooked meal where players can say, okay, I'm making this sound way harder than it actually is. Single player experience, and that is $60. That's first thing. Then we have the multiplayer. And we have the multiplayer, which should come. Oh, excuse me. Single player, there should be another one, but that's coming in a few months. And I think that's co-op. I'm not entirely sure of this one. So, but basically, to play co-op, I think you need a single player expansion. Multiplayer is the free to play. Free to play means that you need to make money somehow. So now the question is, how do we make money out of the multiplayer? Well, they decided to do that in this game with give me yellow. So you have free to play where you can do anything. And in this, they sacked the leveling system from previous Halos, whatever it's gonna call. Sacked the leveling progression, so they could replace it. Cosmetics. I don't know if there's an official name for it, but basically cosmetics model, which means skins. That's what we're gonna have. So, by the way, you can see the date down below here, so you know exactly when I'm making this. So, skins. Skins often has been done through what we call a Battlepass. Yes. And that we gonna make that through an in-game item store. And that in-game item store basically has two parts to it. So that's the Fortnite model, which is rotating store. So that basically means we switch every day, and we, for example, on the busy days we should place the more sellable skins than the not so busy days to, guarantee more sales basically. And it also Fortnite does it every day. So and this also means that in the rotating store we're going for seasonal items. And then of course we have the esports division support. We're gonna call it merchandising for teams. I'm gonna just call it like that. So basically this is the business model that we're gonna go for. And the idea is to entice players to come check out the multiplayer, so that eventually they hopefully like it enough and they go down the multiplayer and they go down here to buy cosmetics, because they can't really earn anything, which is a very bad case in because no progression means they don't stay. Imagine if World of Warcraft didn't have a leveling system, or at least a grind system. Think it would make as much money as it does now? Probably not. So, I mean, we could even make go for funnels and stuff, but I guess the point still stands here. This is basically their business model. We start with the multiplayer, and then people transition to there and to there. That's basically the whole business model idea. And the amount of money that's spent here is of course dependent on how good these items are. And as you probably have noticed, most of the skins, they're not really that good. So, but I digress. Okay, next up. Free-to-play has been a huge growth to the new playing. We've seen a huge new amounts of players entering for the first time. This is absolutely true. A franchise like Halo, 20 years old, a lot of brand leverage. Their brand is through the roof. Probably they have a better brand, you could even say, than Call of Duty. It's almost up there with Call of Duty. Let's put it that way. So that going free to play is the same thing that basically happened to Call of Duty with Warzone. Call of Duty was already immensely big. And then this. Alright. Has been growing play related with new... Okay. But free to play has been a huge boost to growing player base. We've seen a huge amount of new players entering the franchise for the first time ever. But this is business. The servers you play on cost money to operate. The studio that develops and maintains the game costs money. Battlepass and premium customization is the model for this game today. Is there room for continuing assessing the overall economy and value for players? Absolutely. And that's also an area the team is constantly monitoring and learning, because they are learning how they can squeeze every single dollar out of you without having to do actual work. And again, am I against a company making money? No. If I was the head of Halo, there's a nice ring to it. If Halo was on my head, I want to make that sucker. I want to make the biggest one ever. I want to have shit ton of money so I can develop an esports team, develop a sports thing, and make it a 10-year viable plan. It's not there is no point in like, I know these venture capitalists in the tech world like to do it, where they basically pump like millions of dollars year over year into a profit-losing company, so that eventually the company makes massive profits. Like, I understand the strategy, and I would do it, but it's kind of maddening when you think about it. Okay. But now we come to the real issue, broskies. Maybe I should use yellow. No, I don't know. What's a good color for this? Now we come to the real. But this is a business. The servers you play on cost money to operate. The servers you play on cost money to operate. Like, bro, are you fucking shitting me right now? Like, actual fucking shitting me right now. The servers that you play on cost money to operate. Is that true? Yes, that is absolutely true. Do I fully believe that that they deserve the money so they can keep the servers up? Absolutely. But when you have one of the biggest tech giants on the fucking planet backing your corner, literally making you the staple franchise of their flagship gaming console, first of all, you're not going to complain about money that much. And second, they have what is called Microsoft Azure. What is Microsoft Azure, you might ask? Well, ladies and gentlemen of the audience, thank you for asking. Microsoft Azure is basically, let's say, the second biggest web solutions provider in the entire world. In other words, they literally give people fucking servers. I mean, they don't give, you obviously pay for it. Like the biggest fucking company in the world, almost, like, in terms of service, second biggest. Amazon Web Services is way bigger, if I'm not mistaken. But, like, you're gonna use that as an excuse for your shitty ass monetization system that, daddy Microsoft doesn't allow you to play with the Azure servers? Like, bro, get the fuck out of here. They probably even have, like, a plan that says, like, like, I know Amazon Web Services, for example, has a plan that basically says you only pay for what your players use. If you have a very busy month, you pay a lot more. If you have a very not so busy month, you pay a lot less. So like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Does it cost money? Absolutely. But like, this isn't an indie developer sitting in his bedroom, like on his last savings. This is a 750 employee company with daddy Microsoft behind their back that owns Azure servers. Now, do they have to pay Microsoft Azure servers for their usage? Probably. But like, you're not going to tell me they have no form of partnership with Microsoft Azure servers. Like, get the fuck out of here, seriously. Whew. Rant over. Yeah, you have to be careful with me, bro. I get on fire, man. I get on fire. Battlepass and premium customization is the model for this game today. Yeah. That doesn't mean it's a good one. You can literally have the Battle Pass. Take back the quote-unquote leaked Battle Pass, because that one I found absolutely fascinating. Basically, I found another post that was interesting. I've seen more of it, but some data miners, leakers, I don't know who did it. Probably somebody who has more knowledge of this than me. They have the Battle Pass in question that used to be before the game launched. And so what we have here is that the green items are still present, so they're still in the Battle Pass, and the red items are missing. Now, I will tell you this, we just covered the Battle Pass in question. I, however, have no clue I have no idea if this is fake, if this somebody made up. If somebody made this one up, they sure as hell put a lot of time in it. So I can't really be like, this is completely legit info that will rock your world, that will see you the truth, that will, enlighten your third eye or whatever. But originally the battle pass would have been to 120. I mean, at this rate, if it would have been 120, no. There are 2 people claimed that they played at least 100 hours of Halo since it's released, and they only managed to get to rank 50 in the battle pass. Given to the fact, I think it was Luke the Notable on YouTube. Basically, Luke the Notable did like in 1 day. So basically, purely optimized for Fortnite reasons, I guess we can say 12 hours. Okay, so 12 hours to complete the entire battle pass of the season. That is at the end of the season, that I will say, because Fortnite added weekly. While this thing would have been 120, and people play 100 hours, and they still only have level 50. Now, again, I will give them, I've said this before, benefit of doubt, they don't have a time limit on their battle pass. You can keep completing them for as long as possible. So that's a very nice feature, which would justify a slower approach. However, like at this point, it's just simple. Like you know, sell your soul, slave away your hours to get a nice skin. Then of course it's usual. Yeah, we are ready for improvement. Case of course, yeah, but the thing is, like, for example, I think as from an outsider perspective, the color blue and red are probably the primary colors like the Halo franchise has. Everybody starts with a free green skin. I mean, I don't see it here, man. Like, I'm sorry. You're starting to ramble here. This bad mistake. Never ramble when an angry mob is at your doorstep, because one single mistake and you get like guys like me that dissect every single word you said. If things don't hit me, then I'm sorry, you've been disappointed. I always love these sentences. I'm sorry you feel bad for our shitty game. And like this, I get it. A lot of gamers are impatient. Personally, don't give a shit. Take the game offline for 5 months if you have to. I don't care. The simple reason being is, like, I want to play a game that's amazing, that's fantastic. I don't want to play a game that... Yeah, basically I want to play a game where I can dump all my savings in and then realize I probably shouldn't have paid that much. And if that's what it takes for 5 months, yeah, sure, why not? Go ahead. Don't mind. And it's also a very bad season because, you know, Santa Claus is eating over with his reindeers and stuff. Okay, so in other words, I'm doing a very good job because I'm I'm yelling. Yeah, and this is sympathizing. I fully agree, and this is what makes the gaming industry so hard, because these are literally passion projects. Like, it doesn't matter what movie released. I'm pretty sure that's also a passion project, but whatever movie releases, whatever the movie is that is releasing out there, it's also a passion. But like, you watch it and it's amazing, and you might even watch it again, but then it stops. And like some of these games, like you know, I know PUBG, I synced 1,500 hours into that game. That's not something you can just do, basically. So, like, that's why it makes gaming so special, I guess, and why people are so invested on what the outcome is of the gaming. And it is true, like, the developers, like, most of the developers don't, you know, they probably are sad as fuck as you are about the whole situation, because, you know, they get their salaries paid to make a great game. The managers, the big guys in the suits, the big cats upstairs, they get paid to squeeze every single dollar out of your wallet. That's a big difference. But I always love, like, this is what I also find so frustrating. Not love, but like laugh at. In Halo, we never hear from a gaming CFO. We never hear from the guy responsible for the finances of the game. Like, we only hear if we're rare CEO. Well, I mean, we heard from the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of EA once. I think that was the Patrick Sunderland that said, yeah, but gamers don't want Pink Vader in their game. We had CFO. It's always a community guy. Not the accountant, not the shareholders. not whoever else. We only see the community manager, and like that guy's tough because the CEOs and the shareholders are gonna shout at him for not making enough money, and the gamers are gonna shout at him for not getting enough from the game. Like nobody's happy. Like community manager is a tough job, man, and like he probably shouldn't have let somebody else read this first. But hey, I mean, sorry to say it, but like it's excuses, and yes, developers have nothing in question. Like I have nothing to do. These are issues that you need to talk about the developer with. The desync. I've also noticed that it's a little bit weird. I mean, these are issues with the game itself, and nobody cares. Like, I mean, obviously it's an extremely frustrating desync issues. It was in PUBG. It was terrible. Oh man. Oh, I absolutely hate it. Like, we have to think about this. Like, Infinite is supposed to be a platform for the next 10 years in Halo, and how the UI design is already a limiting factor. Wait, we can post again? This is a very bad sign, because exactly. Like, again, I'm gonna say this over and over and over again. Go talk to the guy who is in charge of the decisions in the game. Do not assault him, obviously. Like, constructive feedback is what we're doing over here. I don't want necessarily... I mean, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know exactly what happened with the community manager, but that was not a good... That wasn't a good move of him. So I hope for him he picks it back up again. Yeah, I mean, but Microsoft holding them hostage... In one way, I can absolutely see it happening. And in the other way, like, if we think about other IPs from Microsoft, like Minecraft, Game of Thieves, Sea of Thieves, don't seem to have that much of an aggressive monetization. So yeah, this is a very easy tactic, by the way, to discredit the users of their opinion. Just say they're entitled, toxic, spoiled, whatever. And indeed, most people watching are always respectful. They're just heated in the moment. But like at the end of the day, when they calm down, they're okay with that. And like this is the thing too. Like, because I was offering earlier that I would go into Photoshop to create new UI. Now this guy apparently did it already. So like, what's the big deal? Like look at this. Oh, voting. This brings me back to my Modern Warfare 2 days. Don't know why. Probably the layout design. But like, doesn't matter. Like, oh, lovely. Lovely. Love it. And it's like in style. Remember when we're like, UI is limited factors or whatever the hell it was called? Here. We have UI limitations with the game right now in the way we have UI limitations. Like, I'm guessing the UI has to be redesigned, so in other words, there has to be made new icons and stuff. Like, this guy basically did it by himself. Oh, lovely. I love this. I love this. And like, he came up with this in 5 minutes, broskies. I mean, not 5 minutes. He put in some work in that. But like, I don't expect that this guy spent months working on this. Oh, hey, look. Another UI design. Let's see. This is a pre-match lobby. Okay, I like that. I really like that. I mean, is it that difficult? That's not now. Like, now that I think about it, like I've played it for like 20 hours or something. Like, I now realize that there is basically no way for me to tell which map I'm loading into. Like, what? Why? It's like always the same loading screen in the back. At least here I would know, like, it's gonna be bizarre. Loading in, what do you call it? 5 seconds. I mean, this, I don't even give a shit about this, but like, this game is made by 750 employees. 750 employees. And there is no loading screen. Like, you don't see what you're loading into. What? This can't be real. Alright. This is a very interesting point by this fellow gentleman named Giraffens. Giraffe, I have no clue how to pronounce that. basically the main attraction of a big skin is that you get status. You look quote unquote cool. You don't buy them to, you know, for cosmetics reasons only per se. You buy them so other people are like, whoa, that guy bought that skin. That guy bought that ultimate skin. It's so amazing. Like a game like League of Legends and Fortnite in particular, League of Legends not so much, but Fortnite, if you were playing as a basic skin, as having no skin in Fortnite, you would get bullied, man. Like, people would, you know, I mean, for business, that's amazing. From a humanitarian standpoint, that's a little bit scary, you know. But simply put, think about it. People would social outcast one another if they did not put money into the game one way or another. And in this case, it's the exact opposite. So, and this person says too, like, basically the main thing to take away is that whenever I enter a game and see a teammate sporting something like a flaming ML outfit, I can't help but not to physically cringe. Like, think about it. Your cosmetics items that you spend time and money and yada 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 into developing that need to earn you money. People, or like in this case this dude, feels that he physically cringes. That's a very bad sign. And then people give here in how it happens in other games. What tends to happen is that you get the majority of the focus. Wow. I was called some kids using his mommy's credit card by a teammate for using free red and white blue. Again, I'm only was. Oh man, that's what. Oh no, my free. So apparently, the sentiment, according to this post at least, if we have to believe it, there is quite a sentiment that a lot of people are feeling this way, which is, I mean, think about it. People are getting bullied if they buy skins. Now, there's always going to be those guys that, oh, look, he has a skin, oh, he must be a pro, ha, I'll show him, yada, yada, yada. You're always going to have that guy, but, like, being social outcast level of hazing is, like, you want to make money, dude. So, we are here on the next day, and Halo, I swear to God, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Or at least all these controversies. They always, I don't know, like, I had the same with Star Wars Battlefront 2, like, they just keep on doing stupid shit, or, like, having weird stuff going on. Yeah, let's check out what's happening today. Oh no. Oh no, the default helmet, oh no. So we're gonna cut this one short to make, for time constraints. Basically, they are like comparing it to Fortnite, which made killer money, like absolute, like most money out of every single game almost. And the reason is that was possible was because they were like working on it for like 8 years, and then when season 2 of Fortnite Battle Royale hit, then it really started to take off, and that's basically what gave them money. But like the 8 years prior to that, nobody saw that coming. And that's exactly the same thing that Halo, if it wants to be a 10-year plan, see, like, and again, I know this is the next day, and I know we talked about this before, but like, do you see how negative the prospect of buying a skin has become? Like, if you read half of these comments, and they're not necessarily toxic, they're not like, I don't know, let's not go into toxic ones, but like, they're just, I guess, opinions, you could say, valid ones, I guess, because kind of low-key agree with this. But this I would never have with a game like Fortnite. And I know we're going for comparisons all day. $60 team yesterday, and HQ 2 is on my Battlepass. Ooh. A product that is free, there's always a catch, basically. You pay with your time. And the progression got gutted, so if you want the progression of what would be normally a core staple of the Halo franchise, if you want that progression back, you have to invest a whole bunch of time. And just for numbers' sake, I am I played like 108 games or something of Halo, and I reached level 14 of the Battle Pass. Given it was the free-to-play version, so might have been a little bit longer, but as you can see, like Reddit is blowing up once again. The lockdown ended, and oh man, I am the type of guy that would pay 60 euros for the Halo multiplayer even, just so I can experience this. Now I could experience if it was free, absolutely, but I don't know. I find there's something magical about buying an entrance ticket to a complete shit show, I guess. I'm a little bit of voyeur. So basically, please stop giving awards that you pay money for. In Reddit, for some of you that might not know, all these little things, they basically cost money, and they have like different tiers. So each one of them costs a little bit different. I'm assuming these two are the cheapest ones because they have the most. I don't know the exact numbers for it. It's incredible hypocritical how some people here complain about microtransactions and going to spend on wars. The thing is not this. I think this guy misses the point, because I don't mind microtransactions. I want games to have microtransactions, but I want games to do it properly. I don't want games to milk it out. I absolutely am in love that Reddit basically decided to give them the most amount of awards possible. Like, this is a lot, man. Just for a stupid idea. Yeah, the meme, always keep the meme going. And people in the comments are, of course, chiming in with their wonderful thingies. I mean, imagine, dude. You shouldn't lock down this. The takeaway from this post is that people rather spend money to award other people that are trashing your game for its microtransactions. So instead of all this money going to skins and cosmetics to support your game, to pay your servers, to get the UI limitations gone, they're just giving each other for basically shit posting. Oh, that's a very bad sign, man. Oh man, that's a very bad sign. Okay, so Jason Shreier, the dude in question, the big gaming journalist, is going to put out another hit piece. I mean, it's not a hit piece. I don't think he wants to destroy people. So he doesn't want to completely destroy people, but based on this, we'll know exactly, I mean, or we'll know a little bit a closer approximation to what actually happened during the development of Halo Infinite. Because there is, this game took 6 years, I already said. We're gonna give them 4 years because of the pandemic. Can't say the C word because of YouTube. Oh, so here they're basically promoting preloading for the campaign, and then they don't allow the preload. Oh no! Oh no! This is another sign that not everybody in the company is on the same page here, and that's very unfortunate. So the big thing here is from, I'm assuming, a actual Halo expert. The amount of awards that are in here are blowing up. I'm in love with this. Like, let's not pay Halo any money, you know, let's not pay them enough money to keep the servers running, but let's give each other money for shitty posting. Oh man. So, to summarize, the state of this game at launch. This is what the guy says. No co-op, no level select. This one, I mean, I get it. It has the same with the queue health. No forge. This one is, I understand completely, but I will say this. This one should have come before the campaign, in order to basically have a better marketing, because this is free marketing. Give content creators all the tools they need to do whatever dumb shit they want to do, and this free marketing. The feasibility of Shreier is not possible. Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I should do that. Coming months later in months later by single player. In other words, and like co-op, I can understand. No level select. I'm assuming this is map voting. which most likely all Halo games before that had. I'm not fact checking that, but somebody else can do that. No Forge, so that's theater. No, not theater. Basically, custom games slash ideal for content creators, aka free marketing. The feasibility of Shreier is in discussion. No SWAT in the game at all. No idea what this is. This one replaced by challenge swaps plus Battlepass. I'm gonna call this one greedy. Same as before, it's replaced by store pass. We have to pay for the color blue. Oh, how are we gonna call this? EA. It's not in the game. Okay, this is the same one. No cross-core coming. This is like what we talked about earlier with the store thingy. You have, I have 2 cores, and if I buy a simple paint job, so just a bucket of paint, not an extra model or some, I don't know, like something developer actually have to spend time developing, like a paint job you do in Photoshop, you know, like less work. Fixing differently, but like if their system is good, they should be able to automatically swap colors and then just adjust where needed. It's not gonna be like in GTA Definitive Edition where they basically use an AI to do all the work and then didn't even check for typos. Like theoretically they could do that with the paint jobs. Weaponized FOMO out of the ass worse than most games. Personally, I disagree with FOMO. Unless disagree a little bit. I mean, this is probably just something that we both poorly designed that discourage players to win and suck the fun out of everything. Yup. Unless you buy challenge swaps. Oh yeah, challenge swaps. Let's design a system that is so fucking bad painful, then sell a consumable to alleviate. Sell the solution to the problem you created. And just to clarify, this is not me trashing the person in question here that wrote this post. No, actually it's done pretty well. This is just me adding some lovely additions, I guess you could say. What they basically did here, I don't know if that's exactly what they did, but they removed real content with filler consumables. So instead of the cool armor, they gave you shitty consumables for the which are the solution to the problem they created. And the game, the only problems you should have in a game are the ones you can actually solve by yourself without having to whip out your credit card. Points scored during the match are likely the points they score in whose line is it anyway. The points don't mean anything. Okay, but this is game balance. I'm not touching that a lot. Probably agree with it. Spotting or using the marker feature, I personally think should give you a little bit more points. How this participation trophies. Probably butchering the spelling of that, but instead of performance. Honestly, what the fuck is it? Say the game? So fucking joker. Yeah, I can assume that this is a big issue for players in the Xbox era. Oh yeah, this is the case. This is a great point by this user. If you want red and blue for each specific armor core, which in this case I have 2, I basically have to buy 4 items. If I have 3 cores, I have to buy 6, so 6 times the same paint bucket. Like, we are gonna be Whelsko's way of Halo launching Halo. So what we are gonna do here, or at least I am gonna do here, is I am gonna show you how I would have done or how I would have handled Halo with some of the decisions. Given the fact that I basically have no experience in actual development, but I'm very good at making decisions, I personally think at least. This is the assumption that we can yeet out the chain of command. And what do I mean with the chain of command? Well, we have the suits, let's call them that. So we have the suits who are the boss, basically, the ones who make the shitty decisions about monetization and stuff. Then we have the, I guess, managers, you could say. Managers. Yeah. Then we have the actual developers. And the assumption here is, of course, that I would be on top. And that I have full creative, I wouldn't say creative, but like full decision control on how I would do it. So that's an important thing to keep in mind. Basically, give me nobody to ask to, and let's have some fun. We have to deal with the fact that Halo has 4 components. So we are gonna take, what do we have here? We have campaign. These are all the features, basically. We have campaign, co-op, multiplayer, campaign, co-op, multiplayer, force. These are the 4 big ones that we have. And I guess you could say we also have. So how would we go about doing this? So these are the 5 basic things that we have to work with and that we have to launch. Because Halo, for one reason or another, is splitting up the content. So if we assume the same working conditions, then we assume that we have to split this up for the developers to take extra time. So the first thing, obviously, number 1 would be the multiplayer. This one would be the first to launch. Second one would be this one. Then I probably would do this one. Then I would do this one. And then I would do this one. Now, in actuality, we know that this one first, this one second, this one third, I think, this one fourth, and this one zeroed, because that one is already in the game. And that was one of the big issues with this game that I found, is that I already got live streams on YouTube advertising the Halo Championship, the HCS or something, where esports teams already, the game is out for 2 weeks, already doing tournaments. Like, not how it's supposed to be. So the others are my numbers and the co-op is my. So about the campaign, I'm gonna be brutally honest based on what I have seen and what I've seen in the reviews. It's basically Doom clone. And I know that might piss off a few people. The ending, by the way, is apparently a mystery cliffhanger. I'm not gonna spoil. I don't know it probably. I don't give a shit, to be fair. So basically we have a Doom clone mystery cliffhanger. And like, I would even go to say a cheaper Doom clone. Now, that is probably not something that a lot of people are going to be happy about, me saying that. That doesn't mean it's bad, by the way. Doom is an incredible fun game, but like the way it looked and the way what you could do and stuff like that, it just didn't feel that it was that engaging. And apparently you either have the, what was it, the forerunners inside, and you have the forest area outside with bases. Like, there's like 2 basic levels. And again, I'm gonna assume that if that I have to work with the development hell. So that basically somebody would have hired me to clean up after somebody else's mess. So we got to work with this. Now, is this a bad thing? No, absolutely not. Like, it's not the best, but we can still sell it, and it's probably still gonna do well. But I've seen all these outlets review this game as, whoa, this is amazing, and 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like, honestly, when the hype dies down, is it gonna be a good game? Probably. It's gonna be a 7 out of 10, I would assume, but like 10 out of 10, get the fuck out of here, dude. But that's my humble opinion. The co-op apparently is something fun, and a lot of campaigns can do it, so I'm assuming that the co-op part is gonna be more fun together with the campaign. And of course, the reason in this order, in my order, the campaign would have had some more time to cook in the oven. To iron out some of the details, because when they first revealed it, whew, wasn't something good. Now the multiplayer is the big one, and that's the one that was launched first. So when I probably upload this video, it's gonna be out of beta. And I would say, technically / gameplay wise, it was a massive hit. Absolutely massive. Gameplay wise and technical wise, I had very little crashes, and the gameplay is absolute solid. It's absolute stunning. It's a hell of fun. It's really fun. Now there's definitely some things that we are gonna have to basically. There is some balance issue, but these can be ironed out. The biggest problem is probably the plasma pistol with 22 shots for a kill. Without charging it, and the like the 3-ball gun and the Ravager, I guess. So these one of the best, the worst. So that's all fine and dandy. But like, as a quote-unquote manager, it's probably the best way you could do. But because you actually have a product to sell that is very good, and of course simple patches can fix most of the things that I mean. These guns, based on how they work and stuff, they are not going to be as simple as just hitting a patch. We have a cheaper Doom clone with a bad ending, so I'm assuming what is going to come. The reason I say that for the cliffhanger ending might simply be, I don't want to say it out loud, but paid DLC. Or because if I'm not mistaken, during my research I discovered that Halo 2 was also had a cliffhanger, and Halo 3 was the finish. Halo 3 was a big launch, by the way. And one of the reasons Halo 3 was so damn popular, Forge. So, now we come to the nitty-gritty. Now we come to the actual real part where I've probably been rambling for too long. How would I have handled progression and customization, monetization. I'm gonna be honest. I have no clue how to write it. God damn it, dude. I looked it up and I was actually right. Got progression and customization / monetization. How would I have handled it differently? Well, I would have kept the original 120 Battle Pass, if that's the case. Kept. I would have launched no item store yet. And delay esports. Now, if this was already finished, then I still would have not put it in, because it makes you sound very greedy. Like, it's apparently it's a beta, but the monetization in the Halo we got today is already fully complete, as if it was a 5-year-old game. Very bad. What else would I have done? I would have made it so that we take the old leveling system, or at least a variant from the classic Halo games, which translates to 1, 2, 3. But the simple reason being, a lot of the newer ones, 4, 5, Reach, you always had a very polarizing ideas about it. So the old leveling system, for the variety of thingy, what does this look like? You get performance-based experience points, which give you credits based on how you. Dude, you gotta be joking me. Okay, so now that I've undone my mistake, so that's. The reason is, progression equals happiness. That's in life, that's in whatever. Whenever you're growing, whenever you're moving towards something that you want, you will feel basically happy. And that is why the older game of Halos were like people grinding you out so much. And yeah. And like, I can't put it more simply. If you have a good progression, players are gonna be more happier, or at least they're gonna spend a whole bunch more time in the game. Number 1, progression equals happiness. So, what does this look like? We got stats, medals, kills, bullets. We track every single thing. Now, unless some of these are very heavy on server performance and stuff, I might definitely, bullet shot is not that important. But stats medal, there has to be like a profile, something that basically tracks every single thing you have done in the game. Medals should give rewards at certain numbers. And we're gonna make this even better. Customization rewards at everything. What does this look like? It looks like emblems. Basically, it's filler. I'm just gonna write filler, and filler is of course emblems, paints, etc., and a few very rare armor options. What else would I do with that? Based on your performance in game, we give out a leveling. Give out levels. No, give out experience needed for levels. So if you do something crazy, and this isn't only performance in how well you play. This might also be, oh, you've killed 10 people with the Warthog skin, with the Warthog, the vehicle. Next up, of challenges. What does this mean? We are gonna have a complete list of challenges. Still, with varying degrees. Varying degrees, and this simply means every single challenge out there. So, for example, 1,000 kills. That would be then the last end of the bunch. But, basically we start with like 10 kills into, I don't know, 100. Basically with tiers into 1,000 kills with weapon. And if you, for example, complete, let's say, 1,000 kills with all weapons, would, for example, earn you an armor core. Special armor core. And only you, or the people with 1,000 kills on all weapons. This is, for example, something that only the very dedicated players will have. And this isn't something that, for example, the BR rifle, you get as a first thing when you spawn in the ranked game mode. In those cases, it's gonna be hard. With the needler, for example, that might be better to, for example, special weapons only 500 or something, I don't know. The whole idea of that is that, simply put, we have to kill a whole bunch of people in order to earn the armor core. And I don't know the exact numbers, of course, but something along those lines. For example, play objectives mode. Play total of 100, capture the flag, 100 capture the flag games. And all of these can be unlocked at once. So in other words, I don't have to play every single thing I do will be tracked and will work towards a challenge. That's basically the idea. For example, run 1,000 kilometers. You will automatically earn it by playing the game. And it's not something and then, for example, in this case, it's like a very specific thing. You can say you earn a flag on top of your helmet. I don't know. It's a stupid design. Like, don't forget, I didn't prepare this stuff, I guess you could say. I'm just making up on the fly as I go. So some of the rewards and some of the challenges aren't the best representation of what the ultimate thing would look like. But again, I'm making a YouTube video, not launching a game. And of course, specific challenges such as, oh yeah, here's a good one. Use 5 grapple thingies. When you shoot the grapple, which is, by the way, one of the best additions, I guess. If you shoot 5 of those without touching the ground, and then you have like all kinds of these challenges. For example, often what you find in achievements. Steal 5 vehicles. Very specific challenges. Now the next thing is, how do we actually make this look in game? Because we need to have the battle pass. I would do the same thing for the battle pass. Maybe thematic where possible. So we know, for example, that they are all burn items. So maybe burn people, kill people with burn. You know what? This is not good. That actually battle pass progression. Now we have a few. We're gonna do it like this. Now we have a few things we can do. We can do specific challenges, or we can do weapons. Weapon challenges. Oh no, we're going to call it general challenges. We can also do special created challenges. Fortnite, for example, did map changes and collectibles. So collectibles. This is what we would do with the progression, of course. Yep, this is basically it, or the most of it that I can think of the fly. Now I'll talk a little bit more about exactly what is important. This needs to be challenges too. Needs to give customization options for completing challenges. Basically, if you 100% it, you should have a very distinct looking outfit. Very distinct and notable reward. Armor core with all bells. Whistle. Same with the co-op. I mentioned earlier in this video the evolution of Halo customization. Exactly that which was in the first 3 games. Where, for example, I don't know, there was a katana mentioned in that video. So we have the katana that was unlocked basically if you did 49 out of 79 achievements. And I want to see this. And look, I don't know exactly how much is available, but a simple one, like the samurai, or the samurai for the event, like that event, but then as a reward for the campaign for completing challenges, and of course with all the bells and whistles. So, for example, if we have an armor core, we get with a normal color, but then there's like this special golden color that shows you're a legendary, with even effects and stuff, because we know it's in the game. Effect. This is how I would do the multiplayer, by the way. This we obviously outsource to developers who know more about this stuff than I, and who have probably thing. What I will also do, because apparently it's incredibly hard to implement the change for like millions of people, which is totally understandable. There's server, almost like there's so many games that have done this. PUBG, League, I think Rocket League, I don't know, like those two I definitely know. So basically a public test server. Next up, 120 Battle Pass, basically the original one. Why would I do this? Goodwill from the community. If that Battle Pass launched how it was originally, and only with that, which is basically these 2 points, 120 and no item store come together. These two would have made the community so ready to drop their wallets. But when the next season comes around and when there's an actual item store with actual good items in it. So much. But simply put, like that Battle Pass would have been the best Battle Pass in the thing. And like, look, because one of the goals of this thing by the suits is a 10-year game plan. Or at least 10-year life cycle. I don't know if life cycle is the right word, but that's the main goal that we have to think about. This Battle Pass, it might cost us a bunch of money in the beginning, but if we're gonna go for a 10-year game pass, like we can burn cash for 3 months. And even we don't even burn cash, we can buy just for $10. And I would make the so now I've did the math. So we have 108 game played, and we have 14 levels completed from the free game. Basically, that amounts to 7.7. I have to buy 7.7 games per level. I'm gonna definitely try to knock this down to 3 to 4 in general, and weekly challenges to increase this, and 1 daily. That's how I would do it. So when you log in, you can have like a daily challenge that boosts, and it's not a hard one. It's gonna be play 3 matches or something. Very dumb. And I would comma rip off Fortnite. I mentioned Fortnite quite a bunch when doing these, but Fortnite is like, if it works, do not stop, like, steal it. Who gives a shit? It's a business. Just rip it off. Since this thing is permanent. And 5. I might boost it up to 5. Because it's not limited like other games. And this, for example, is for the average player. Somebody who is dominating and has the Boogeyman achievement. For example, Boogeyman. How hard is that? Extremely hard. So, for example, we go back to specific challenges. There we go, this one. So for the Boogeyman, we go Boogeyman, Armor Core or something. It's like if you get 35 kills in a row, you get a skin. Basically, that's what I'm referring to. That would be a great thing. Again, progression. Now, most people are not going to get it. We have to keep that in mind. 95% of people are not going to be able to get it. So there's going to be a balance between making it super cool and making it not so cool, because not everybody has a chance to earn it. I mean, I guess they could do it in the Forge, but no item store in the late East. Reason, same as before, same as above. Even if it's ready, is it gonna cost money? Yes. Is it gonna not be in the most efficient use of resources? Yes. Why do we do this? Goodwill from the community. The first thing we do is basically build the trust and build goodwill up, so that later, when we first give them all the things that they can possibly want, so that later when we ask, hey, please give us some money because we made an awesome game, it's actually possible. It's actually fucking possible. That's why. And like, the item store definitely needs some work because of the skins that are in it are very lackluster, I would say. This isn't as adaptable as a model as it's Fortnite, because Fortnite has literally all the freedom in the world. It can license every single IP on the planet, which it's probably doing. We got Rick and Morty, Stranger Things. Apparently, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is now next to fucking Spider-Man in that. Like, you can't do that. You are limited to the buffed guys, like the spacesuit soldiers, dude. So all the leveling system from games. Okay, let's go over this one. Progression is happiness. Should be clear. The more progression there is and the more accessible it is, the more people have something to work towards. That's why World of Warcraft is so addicting, because progression is so damn amazing. Or deep. I wouldn't say amazing, I will say very deep. You can... Just the amount of achievements alone for an account is mind-boggling. It's literally the second life. Oh yeah, what I also would implement is a show of amount of medals, badges. The ability to earn badges or some form to show off what you achieved. That's basically the whole thing. Hey, I did 10 overkills in my entire Halo career, and that gave me a, I don't know, a cool emblem or something like that. Medal should give out customization. Yeah, exactly. So that's, these two go hand in hand. The ones that I've just mentioned, these two go hand in hand. Extrinsic motivation and intrinsic motivation. This is the intrinsic motivation. We want to become a better player. This rewards us for playing or performing well. This also rewards us for not fucking our team over. So for example, if you do friendly fire in ranked, you get minus 100 XP or something like that. Because we might be... Oh no, dude, you joking me? Oh, whew. Minus 100 XP. I almost did it again. We do that. The reason for it being is that we don't want to encourage people to friendly fire. We don't want to have them on when other people visit their profile, their Halo profile, or their Halo... let's call it a combat report. I mean, it sounds cooler. There probably is already a name for it in the Halo franchise. I just don't know about it. This one is self-evident. Look at, again, the reference that I used in this video was Modern Warfare. That's the one that I used for this video. Yeah, in this video I mentioned Modern Warfare 2. Does it matter? No. Again, look, old Halo games / copy pasta. Copy and paste that stuff from the older game. Like, even go as far as literally copy the exact same system from the older games if we want to be lazy about it. Copy it and then make some tweaks and changes for modern day. Oh man. And then of course we have this, because this is, for example, I saw today on a TikTok, I think, whereby there was this dude playing Big Battle Team Ranked, where he was swinging around the map with the grapple shot. And it's a very specific thing, and it doesn't screw over that many people, and it's a very fun thing to do. Like, it's a very specific challenge. Why do we do these specific challenges? To get progression and to get levels so that we can spend credits, not in-game money, but real credits like back in the old days, and entices certain gameplay. That's with most challenges, by the way. If we get a reward equals engagement, I guess you could say. Somebody might never pick up the needler, and they're working to get all the kills, whatever, for this one. They all of a sudden they see, oh, I need to do the challenge for the needler. So then they might start picking it up. Just an example. And of course, Battlepass progression. This is basically lame, and this will do the same as here. Now, the reason why would I want to do Forge second? Halo, I don't know this for sure, but I have a feeling a lot of content or a lot of the fun in Halo comes from being able to make custom game lobbies and playing with your friend. And I probably had most of the fun playing with my homies in a custom match, which I did a video on. Basically, I made a small little video on it, and it was super fun. And so I'm assuming a lot of, and it's Halo is a console game, so I'm assuming a lot of casuals play this game. And Forge, being able to create dumb game modes where everybody spawns with a grapple hook, and I don't know, everybody spawns with a grapple hook and the energy source, for example. It might be something stupid, but then we got basically Star Wars battles, and I can assume that a lot of content creators would find that hilarious and laugh in clips, and it's a little bit cooler than just playing same old shoot 'em up Slayer games, because I don't like Slayer games. I hate Slayer. Oh yeah, while we're at it, what else would I've changed? Freest marketing. Players create their own fun. And how would I have done? Would I have done something else? I mean, custom available, ability to save. Slayer apparently is the very popular mode, so Slayer playlist only. You know, gotta give the people what they want. Loading screens absolutely bugs the living shit out of me. UI overhaul. That's what I would have definitely done, because I don't care what you say, the UI feels like so clunky, so I don't want that. So, objective playlist, loading screen, UI overhaul. I mean, these two are basically the same. And then customs available with the Forge kicking up a notch. Oh yeah, next up, since we made the terrible mistake, and we're gonna keep this at 7, free battle pass includes all that is marketed and maximum 2 split at once. If a split, other content in between. And I also would be able to promote community playlist thingies each. So this simply means playlist that the community found popular, and we are just going to use that for a playlist that week. So for example, the energy sword with the grapple hook is, like, for example, in 1 week, and then the next week we, I don't know, take rocket launcher zoning. Something along those lines. Or needler zoning, that seems hella fun. And yeah, that fractured teni, like, what the fuck is this? Like 3 months apart. Get the fuck out of here. Like, ugh, nobody wants that. It would be hella cool if it's an exclusive so that in S10 people are jealous of S1 season 1. It's becoming quite long, so what else would I do? Yeah, and that's basically the gist of it. In season 2 we release with the item store, and I mean, I guess Fortune Esports could be the same thing, and then we really focus on that one. Then we would release a campaign, and then we would release co-op after that, if we really have to do the content drop. And now it might be that they did this for practical reasons instead of efficiency reasons, but the simple reason is esports, like, give players some time to get the game, to know the game. I always love how a game that pronounces itself to be in beta, it already has a complete esports build, scene build, and a complete item stores build. And then the next battle pass, by the way, because I need to make the money, I might do 100 years. I will say that, because is it a little bit scummy? Yeah, kind of, because the first one was good, but it's more of a launch. And the first one is also built on top of existing IP. So it makes sense why we would do it, so I would do 100 tier for the second. In the end, I want this to make this game great, and one of the things that I would do in the long year life cycle is I would port every single map over of the Halos. Oh, only the good ones, maybe not every single one. Like, that it's the ultimate Halo experience, that you can play for years and years and years and always have a good time, and that you're so invested in emotionally that you drop the dollars. You know what? I'll give you the magic formula to making money in this thing. So emotional investment equals bling bling bling. The more somebody's emotional invested, the more likely, and assuming, of course, that's the cosmetics or something, you know, the better the cosmetics, the better, the more likely they will spend. So emotional investment plus swag. Emotional investment plus swag equals $. So this is the complete package that I would do if I couldn't do this thing. I am the guy with no suit. I might fire a few suits because whoever made this decision needs to be fired. And I would, this is what I also would do. I would give emotional support to Sketch, because I know I've been like roasting him and like every single letter, I guess you could say, on what he did. But it still is a very, very, very difficult job to be a communicator between people, the developers, and then have to suit. Because I'm assuming that the guy didn't want to throw anybody under the bus. And this is what the first year of my 10-year plan would be. And of course, every single map porting over would take quite a bunch of time. And every game mode. So I would make this a staple Halo franchise. And even to make money, I would do something like what Fortnite is doing with Fortnite Crew. And that is basically what I would do is, now that I think about it, so I would be basically give like 10 euros a month seems a lot. So I would be like between 6 and 8 euros subscription, which includes cosmetics. I guess Game Pass. Basically, Game Pass also does it. So you know what? I would make it like, 10 is a little bit much. 8 euro subscription. For Game Pass, 4 euros. subscription, and that exclusive cosmetics. We need some other benefits. What else can I give them except exclusive cosmetics? That's a very difficult one because every single thing you say or do, you have to balance out. Because if I say XP boost now, then we're basically back at square one. Oh yeah, and I would make a max level. That I also do. A max level. After that, prestige, or extra battle pass XP points. That's something I would do. Like this, for example, is something that needs to be tested out. This thing. So keep that one in mind before you ask me for it. I mean, I guess exclusive. Oh yeah, man. Why didn't I think about it earlier? Item store credits. Also, season 3 launch earliest. I'm really thinking what we can improve on this. You know what? Actually, we're gonna steal something from Fallout, I think. Server. Having your own little world, your own little server that you're not limited to whatever is thing. And then of course, generally perks. I don't like server perks. A little bit like Discord Nitro, I guess you could say. And this, like, this is just extra. So we hit an item store in season 2. Then we, when the esports comes arrive, we might do this with the permanent store. And then we got campaign to unlock some more creative cosmetics. And then co-op. 20% plus discount for a year. And again, I want to very clearly emphasize this. These pricing subject to change if I would be in charge. Like, because this is about market research and what are people willing to pay. But like, if all of this is included, people are gonna pay so much just to play Halo. Because if Halo is the next big thing, everybody loves it because Forge has the most fun game modes that there is. The multiplayer is awesome if you want to hang out with some friends and stuff, and combined with Forge. I have a great idea. I have an absolutely fantastically great idea. Rust does this with custom content. I would, when all of this is launched, by the way, this is when all of this is done. So when we do this and this, when this is checked off, so all of this is going good and running smoothly. That's the very important thing. We're gonna do Forge. We're gonna launch with something new. So next up, what I would do is launch Forge 2.0. And what is Forge 2.0? Forge 2.0 takes every single thing that players can do to the next level. And that would include player-made skins or community-driven skins. Mods is a difficult one, but something along those lines. So mods, adjustments by players. I would do what happened to Dota, for example, and use custom game modes that are very popular by the community and turn them into permanent game modes. I would allow people to create, or we'll put it this way, create, submit, not only their own game modes, but their own maps. And if the developers okay it, implement that into the game, basically. And some of these I would make, of course, the subscription model, only perks. And that is a question of what is balanced. Because the same is, it's like with Discord Nitro. Like, it gives you, for example, bigger uploads. You can upload more. Yeah, better. Yeah, like, you don't necessarily need it, but it's nice to have. What else can we do for that subscription model? Like, I really like that, by the way, now that I think about it. Rep support, even if it's for 1 month. Rep support, represent Halo. How would we call it? Halo Infinite. On profile, I would make profiles a big thing, by the way. Draw very much inspiration from Rust. Rust and Minecraft. And I probably would give priority queue for party. Priority queue for party. Note party. So one guy in fire team gives priority. And like, everything that I've mentioned in the previous one, like the subscription model, is really if you want the ultimate Halo experience, and it doesn't, for example, prevent you from unlocking things. Does not do that. It just everything I mentioned on top of that, a subscription model that's very low price, very easily. What's the Game Pass pre with Game Pass? I'm gonna take my statement back from earlier. Because I see here that the Game Pass for the complete Game Pass is like $15 a month. So yeah, that's about it. And after that, after this is over, this is probably gonna take another year. So then we're on 2 years. And then of course we have hopefully a thriving esports scene. Inspiration from CS:GO/League, because they are very, I wouldn't say similar in gameplay, but they're very different in like you're in a map with a team of 4 trying to compete around objectives. Then of course build that out, create a bunch of different maps, and then of course content farm all the way, build upon progression. So let's say we have 2 prestiges. We would make, after year 3, we would have something of add another 3 prestiges with each cool armor for completion. If you hit another max 3 levels, then yeah. So basically, this was quite the presentation that I gave out here. Again, you have to understand, I originally didn't think that would be a good thing for the video, so I just put it in there. This is my vision of how I would run Halo if I was in charge of the development team and the monetization strategy. And I can promise you one thing, it would have praise from here. Basically around the world it would be praised for a fair custom system, and there would be a whole bunch of customization. Now the only thing that I'm a little bit iffy about, where I'm like, I'm not so sure about how exactly I would do that, is definitely the subscription model. It's definitely something I want to keep cheap, and we're gonna aim for big numbers. So the reason that how that works is big numbers often cheaper. Big numbers often cheaper subscription. This is Halo Infinite Plus, and I'm gonna put that in this color. In no way a substitute for gameplay nor progression. I want to keep this very clear. The progression of the older games, free multiplayer, and yeah, this. And of course we have to find some perks to make it attractable. Obviously we can sneak it in with the Game Pass, which would make it even better. So I just looked up what some of the exclusive rewards were, and that was a AR coding for the standard rifle, and some dumbass XP boosts and challenges. Ooh, that's iffy. That's very iffy. The XP boost, I want to throw it in as a bonus for the, what do you call it, but again, it can't mess too much with the progression, and of course the challenges. To be fair, it's actually not a bad idea, because in my thingy, to unlock most of the armors through leveling, or to get the credits to buy the armors through leveling, you need to do specific challenges. And general XP boost, or like, so for example, if you play a match, you have 5 different, so you have like, you play the match, you get standard XP, you get PV, KD XP, you get, what else? Medal XP, so how much medal? In the older games, you got like a slot machine, so extra bonus XP. So basically that, like, if I would do an XP boost, it's only for this one to boost up your max level. To be fair, yeah, that's what I want to do. Also, no worries, there would be no need for a challenge swap, because all challenges are automatically unlocked. So challenge swap, we yeet out. Okay, and I'm definitely gonna cut it there. But this is my very simple attempt at being if I was in charge of launching Halo. So 343, if you are looking for your 751st employee, yeah, this would make you a hell of a lot of money, and it would make Game Pass even better. The double XP only for the normal XP and not KD. Like just a little boost to get you to max level quicker. Because it doesn't mess with progression that much. The whole goal is to be not intrusive. Yo, 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 ladies and gentlemen, welcome to day 3 with your host Whelsko. And how has the shitstorm performed? Well, as you can imagine, today is the day that the campaign launched, and then we finally have the details with how that goes. Now, problem is, as suspected, there have been very little rewards. So this is one of the rewards, I guess you could say. These are all the rewards from the campaign, depending on what you complete. And, I mean, it's just paint jobs, man. Like, I mean, they're nice paint jobs, I guess. But are they something to write home about? There's not really this powerful feeling that you conquered something. It's just, you know, dumb stuff, basically. These guys are ripping it apart, of course. Because everybody just wants something very cool to brag of. And this guy apparently did research, and this is what he came up with everything that is in the campaign to unlock for multiplayer. So 3 nameplates, 3 stances, 9 pallets, 1 vehicle cam for each one, with the 3 gun charms, AR camo, BR camo, commando camo. I mean, it's very lackluster to say the least. If this is all there is. Now, there might be more, but at this point in the video, like, I'm pretty sure you will notice there's a certain theme going on. And this is from the Reddit post of today. In the statement made by the sketch guy, the community director, this was one of his quotes. And in hindsight, it absolutely is. This isn't right. So, like, you know, like, is. Now, we got to talk about this for a little bit, because why is this a big deal? Well, we're going to skip everything here, because most of it we've already covered. But this one is something that this user, 2scopes of oh my god, lovely username by the way, pointed out. These are massive brands, and what we are seeing nowadays is that brands are working together with intellectual property to cross-promote each other. And in this case, Amazon, Chipotle, Rockstar, and Kellogg's. These are the 4 big guys apparently. Now that I see this, I am actually very curious. Oh no, we're going down deep the rabbit hole. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. We're going deep down the rabbit hole. This is very bad. No way, dude. You have to be joking me. Oh no. Oh no. I've been doing the research. Oh no. Oh no. This. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, this can't be happening. They put all their eggs in this basket. They put all of their eggs in this basket. Ooh. Oh man. They doubled down on a system that they had no idea, that they didn't test beforehand. Oh, this is hell. This is terrible. This is the worst thing you can do, because you basically, no amount of marketing will fix a bad product. And I'm not saying Halo Infinite is a bad product, but there's clearly something that has stained that product. And the amount of promotions here, ooh, they have serious money. Like, come on, man. Kellogg's? Oh, this is the Kellogg's. So, Hot Pocket, Pringles, and Cheez-It Grooves. The thing is not that these rewards are that amazing or that insane. The thing is just, there has to be money involved. No way that Pringles, like, can I get a closer look? Yeah, no way that Pringles does this. I know Doritos doing it with Warzone at the moment, but Warzone has its flaws, but at least it's proven to be a somewhat decent product. You know, the balance is all over the place, and there is a bunch of things wrong, which I've clearly made my statements about in the past. But all in all, you get what you expect. And the quality is not going to improve, but at least there's a complete package, and the monetization system is somewhat doable. Oh, this is bad, man. This is bad. Because you have to think, if they did this in Season 2 when their formula was proven to be effective, and then put all of this in, they would make so much killer money. This is... Oh, this is bad. They've put challenge swaps everywhere. Ooh. This is clearly designed by the suits. Okay, so we have a campaign that is basically giving you nothing. And one of the challenges is, of course, things like this. The normal challenges are so ridiculous, and they promote their solution to that problem everywhere. Because Chipotle, oh look, in a surprising turn of events, Chipotle is now offering Halo promotion to its US and Canadian customers. Each purchase of an entry via either the digital app or the website can provide the purchase with a code for 5 challenge swaps. Like, what? I'm assuming Chipotle gets paid for this because they have to promote it. They have to, you know, push their customers with the stupid swap. And this is this week's Ultimate Challenge, when I'm recording this, the Ultimate Challenge camo. It looks pretty decent. What you have to do is complete all of your challenges, and then you unlock the challenge to kill 15, or was it 12? 15 people with headshots only. 15 people with headshots only. That's very difficult to do, by the way. Because you have to keep in mind, you have to first complete the 20 challenges, and then whatever time is left in the week, that is the time for this to unlock this weapon, which equals to 15 headshot kills. Now, I will say this. Apparently, you can just... Nope. You cannot unlock this. You cannot cheese this by using bots. You can only do this inside real PvP. That's the only way you can do this. If you complete your challenges 6 hours before the next rotation is up, that's not enough time, or at least not enough decent time for any single player to get 15 headshots reliably in a PvP setting. Like, I am pretty good at, generally speaking, at shooters, and even I do not get it. Here we have, of course, the lovely visor that is in the shop, but not as a reward for completing the single player. And now I'm very curious to know, we go to Google, Master Chief Halo Infinite. And guess what? Is that his visor color? Yeah, that's his visor color. Maybe it's a little bit darker. And this is probably the biggest of the bunch. Halo Infinite has a $140 LA Lakers cross promotion. And people, of course, limited edition. Yeah, this is what people really, really want to have. If you're a Lakers fan in LA, the Lakers are huge. Like, their brand is all over the world recognizable. And nice Xbox controller, so that's nice. And then, of course, a nice... I have no idea what it's called anymore. But, you know, what basketball players wear. And then a nice little figurine. So, let me see this. Become Master Chief from Halo Infinite with a Lakers 170 Master Chief jersey bundle, including a custom Lakers Xbox controller, available starting at 7 PM only at Team LA store at Staples Center. Wow. Ooh, imagine I've you know, pretty badly talked about him, you know, sketch already. Oh man, people are roasting them. Yeah, this comment is probably the most true. It sucks to be. Oh, Now I'm curious. Okay, whatever. So this is day 3.